In the hotel lobby, a nursing mother caught me staring, and I didn't know what the appropriate facial expression was for that. So I just kept on staring and staring and staring, and then I just kind of got locked into that like a time warp. And
oh, where do we even begin with this whirlwind? So Ryan Reynolds, the charming, quick-witted actor we all adore, finds himself in hot water. Why, you ask? Well, a clip has surfaced where Ryan recounts an incident that has everyone talking. He mentions that he'd love to revisit a moment from his past, a time when he found himself staring at a woman who was nursing her baby. He admits he didn't know where to look or how to react, so he just kept staring. Can you believe that? Now let's pause for a moment. How would you feel if someone admitted to such behavior? It's uncomfortable, right? Especially considering the current climate where personal boundaries are fiercely protected. But here's where things get even more interesting. Ryan's wife, Blake Lively, is facing a legal battle with her co-star and director Justin Baldoni. Blake has accused Justin of inappropriate behavior on the set of their film It Ends With Us. Among the allegations, Blake claims that Justin made her and other women on set uncomfortable with his actions.
My address or my phone number or like my location share. I could just location share you and then we could
Now, isn't it ironic? On one hand, we have Ryan admitting to staring at a nursing mother, and on the other, Blake is accusing someone of making her feel uncomfortable in a somewhat similar context. It's like the universe has a twisted sense of humor, don't you think? But let's not jump to conclusions. Ryan's anecdote, though awkward, seems to be an honest confession of a socially uncomfortable moment. We've all had those, haven't we? Moments where we don't know where to look or how to act. Does that make us bad people or just human? Blake's situation, however, is more serious. Her allegations against Justin Baldoni are part of a formal complaint highlighting a pattern of behavior that she found distressing. It's a reminder of the challenges many face in workplaces, especially in industries like Hollywood, where power dynamics can be so twisting.
A different opinion. And a lot of people stay in their lane, they know their role, and they'll go through with it. But the more powerful you get, the larger of a public figure you are, the more control you feel you have.
So where does this leave us? Are Ryan and Blake being hypocritical, or are these two separate incidents that by coincidence surfaced around the same time? It's a lot to digest, and honestly, it leaves me with more questions than answers. What do you think? Is Ryan's confession just an awkward moment shared in jest, or does it reflect a deeper issue? And how do we reconcile that with Blake's serious allegations against Justin? You know, it's astonishing how quickly the tides can turn in Hollywood. One moment, Ryan Reynolds is everyone's favorite witty actor. The next, he's under the spotlight of controversy. Recently, Ryan shared an anecdote that has many raising eyebrows and questioning the double standards in the industry.
A smear campaign, but are you acknowledging that there may have been some behavior on set that could have made some of the cast, including Blake Lively, uncomfortable?
I think there's some behavior always that can make people uncomfortable, and I don't think anybody has the intention to do that.
In a candid moment, Ryan recounted an experience where he found himself staring at a mother breastfeeding her child in a hotel lobby. He admitted, "I didn't know what the appropriate facial expression was for that, so I just kept on staring and staring and staring." This confession has ignited a firestorm, especially considering the recent allegations his wife Blake Lively has made against her co-star Justin Baldoni regarding inappropriate behavior on set. The internet, as expected, erupted. Social media platforms are flooded with debates about Ryan's comments. Some argue that his honesty is refreshing, while others see it as a glaring example of hypocrisy, especially in light of Blake's accusations. Cancel culture is in full swing, with hashtags calling for accountability and discussions about the pervasive double standards in Hollywood. Adding fuel to the fire, Blake's co-stars have found themselves in uncomfortable positions during red carpet events. Brandon Sklenar, when asked about the ongoing drama, seemed visibly uneasy, offering vague responses that did little to quell the speculation. It's clear that the ripple effects of this controversy are being felt throughout the industry, leaving many to wonder, what's next for Hollywood's golden couple? What do you think about all this? Do you believe Ryan's comments were harmless, or do they highlight a deeper issue within the industry? How should celebrities navigate such personal admissions in today's cancel culture climate? You would think that after all this chaos, Ryan Reynolds would lay low, right? Maybe take a step back, let the internet cool down? Nope. Instead, he showed up at the Oscars, well, sort of. Deadpool made an appearance, and let me tell you, it was awkward. There he was in full costume, dancing around like some weird PR stunt, and the audience, silent. No cheers, no applause, just pure secondhand embarrassment. It was one of those moments where you could feel the tension through the screen. And the timing couldn't have been worse. Ryan is already under fire, Blake is getting dragged into this mess, and now Deadpool is awkwardly twirling around on one of the biggest nights in Hollywood? The whole thing felt forced, like they were trying to distract from everything else going on, but it didn't work. If anything, it just reminded everyone of how much backlash he's getting right now. Meanwhile, let's talk about Brandon Sklenar again, because wow, this guy is struggling. He hit the red carpet, and when asked about Blake, he gave the most uncomfortable, non-committal response ever. It was like watching someone try to balance on a tightrope with no safety net. He doesn't want to pick a side, but at the same time, you can tell he knows this is a PR disaster. And honestly, that's the problem. Everyone is trying to play it safe, and it's making things worse. So here's where things stand. Blake has accused Justin of some pretty serious stuff, sexual harassment and retaliation to be exact. She says this all started back in August 2024. In response, Justin didn't just sit back, he fired back with his own lawsuit, claiming defamation and even extortion. It's like a real-life soap opera unfolding before our eyes. Just recently, Blake tried to dig deeper into Justin's communications by subpoenaing his phone records, but a federal judge thought she was overreaching a bit and denied that request, calling it overly intrusive. The judge did leave the door open for Blake to ask for specific communications that are relevant to her claims, though. So the legal chess game continues.
100% no. You know, Justin Baldoni from the get-go said, I don't want to do anything negative toward her. I don't want to hurt her.
Both sides seem to be gearing up for a long battle. They've opted out of mediation, which means they're ready to take this all the way to trial. Mark your calendars because, as of now, the trial is set for March 9th, 2026. Now, with all these rumors swirling around online, it makes you wonder about the legal side of things, right? Well, in the eyes of the law, defamation is a big deal. It's when someone makes a false statement that harms another person's reputation. When it's written, like in social media posts or articles, it's called libel. When it's spoken, it's slander. But here's the tricky part. Not every negative comment counts as defamation. The statement has to be false, harmful, and made without any legitimate privilege. So all those online speculations, if they're just opinions or based on facts, they might not cross the legal line. But if someone spreads false information that damages someone's reputation, they could find themselves in hot water legally. It's a lot to take in, isn't it? This whole situation is a reminder of how complex and intertwined our personal and public lives have become, especially in the digital age. The legal side of all this drama is honestly just as fascinating as the scandal itself, because when you strip away the emotions, the headlines, and the never-ending social media debates, it all comes down to what the law actually says. And let me tell you, the law is a lot stricter than the internet when it comes to what counts as truth and what's just a mess of speculation. One of the biggest things to consider here is defamation. If someone knowingly spreads false information that damages another person's reputation, that can be grounds for a lawsuit. But, and this is a big but, opinions don't count. If someone says, I think Ryan Reynolds is a hypocrite, that's just an opinion. But if they post, Ryan Reynolds was caught harassing a woman and there's no proof, that could be defamatory. The same applies to Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's situation. If Blake's claims are proven false, Justin could absolutely win his countersuit for defamation. And if she proves her claims in court, well, Justin's reputation takes the hit instead. Then there's the issue of harassment claims. The law takes these allegations seriously, but they have to be backed up with evidence. It's not enough to say someone made you uncomfortable. There has to be proof of a pattern of behavior that crosses legal lines. That's why Blake's request for Justin's phone records was so important to her case. She was looking for texts or emails that could back up her accusations. But the judge decided she was asking for too much, which weakens her argument, at least for now. And let's not forget about cancel culture. Legally speaking, it's not a crime to cancel someone, but there are cases where it leads to defamation suits. If someone loses their job, contracts, or opportunities because of false allegations spread online, they could sue for damages.
Baldoni's team is saying is that they've created a website that they plan to make live in the coming days. It's going to have all of this, a timeline and text messages for the public to read who's interested and make their decision as to whose side they're on.
This has happened before with celebrities, influencers, and even regular people whose lives were ruined over things that turned out to be false. So while the court of public opinion might decide Ryan or Blake is guilty, the actual courts need hard evidence. At the end of the day, this whole situation is a legal minefield. Everyone involved has to be careful about what they say, what they accuse others of, and how they handle their public image. Because while social media loves a scandal, the law only cares about the facts. And right now, the facts are still up for debate. So what happens now? That's the million-dollar question. Does Ryan address the backlash? Does Blake say something? Or do they both just pretend like nothing is happening and hope the internet moves on? Because right now, it doesn't look like people are letting this go anytime soon. What do you think? Is Ryan just being his usual sarcastic self, or did he seriously misread the room? And how much longer can Blake and her team keep dodging questions before they have to face the music? Let me know, because this whole situation is getting messier by the day.